Yeah, well, we woke up in 40 degrees and said, oh, let's have game time kick off. Hey.
First of all, very grateful for Pine Bluff to come over here. Very grateful for Doc Gamble. He's a fine man, and his kids play extremely hard with a lot of discipline. And we're excited to play a team from the state of Arkansas. You know, you could feel the electricity in the air from the fans of Little Rock, and we're very, very thankful and grateful that so many showed up for this game, and just a lot of thanks from our team to Central Arkansas War Memorial and Razorback family. With that, I'll answer whatever you need.
Right down. Okay, you know, Shannon Burke's first half, got a rush touchdown. I mean, just what you think of? He might have been the best guy out there.
He was, if you watched, did you watch it? He was the best guy out there. You know, there was coming into the game, we knew, especially in the red area, that they were going to run total, that they were going to basically bring more than we could pick up. Ran a slant to Burks once on that. Obviously beat him deep another time, and we handed it to him. But I'm going to give Coach Browse and Kennedy and those guys on the offensive staff, they were ready for total. And obviously the kids got to go execute it, but you can lose a game if you can't handle total all-out blitz. I mean, you can lose. And the offensive staff is ready for that. And then, of course, Bergson, you know, it's hard to cover him one-on-one and keep him from catching the football. And he certainly did. So I thought there was a lull in the action there after we scored our first two touchdowns. I think they held us once or twice, maybe three times in a row. I can't remember exactly. And then we hit a spurt in there. And then when Perotti returned man, that was awesome. I mean, that's priceless to see his face when he scored. But I went everywhere on that answer. And you ask about Burks, I had everybody on the team. Well, you know, the thing is that you got to look at the game too, you know, in the second half, obviously we want to get him more carries. I've said that before. Obviously he deserves more carries. When we went in at halftime, I was a little surprised that he only had 4 carries because that had been a topic of discussion this morning. But in the second half, I didn't want to put him out there much. I think he's carried it twice in the second half, and I told him, I said, get him out. He has turned into, in my opinion, if not our 1 back, at least our 2 back. He's certainly, when we hand the football to him, he makes yards. And we've got to get him the ball more. I don't know, today he might have could have carried it 2 or 3 more times. I don't know that he would have gotten 12 to 15, you know, just with the way the game was, that he would have got more than maybe 10 carries max. I believe he ended up with 6 or 7. I'm not positive.
Plays before, had a chance of one. You know, kind of drop. How big was that? You know, you have kind of disappointing plays in Burks and drive back.
Well, you know, I think both fades were to Warren before, you know, before, like you said, and then come back and Burks and KJ and O-line, you know, bailed us out there. I think it's really big. Certainly, we liked our matchup out there with 84. We just couldn't come down with the ball. And the defender over there, he had his hand involved in both of them. So he did a nice job of covering as well. But I think it was really big, you know, to get those 2 touchdowns right there. Well, it's awesome. It's a great accomplishment. I mean, he's a great player, and he's not done yet. You know, he's still got the rest of this year, and then the bottom line is he'll decide after we look at where the NFL tells us that he's going to be drafted, and then he'll sit down. I'll sit down with him and his family, and we'll all figure it out. But he still has at least 4 or 5, hopefully 5 games left for us before that decision ever has to make. And I've talked to him before. I said, if you want to, leave and go to the NFL, no talking is going to help you. It's your play on the field. He understands that. He's a wonderful kid. I think we're getting better. Talking to Miles last week, he said he was nervous as he could be in the first series against Auburn. And you could imagine you're going to be, this place was sold out. It's basically your first start. I think the more game time they get, the better they're going to be. I was so happy that that Chavis got his interception. I asked him about the knee. He said, "Oh, it was down." So I told him, "Say, hey, bring him down here, because if you'll admit your knee was down, the replay is going to definitely show it was." But I was so happy that he got his pick, and those guys are going to get better and better for us. And what we have out there is our best 11, and then we'll roll some other guys and all that. And we believe in them, and there's no woe is somebody's out, somebody's this. We believe in those guys, and they'll continue to get better each week. Thanks for the question.
Coach, you mentioned Brody's touchdown, but y'all got a lot about a punt return game. Is that something you expected coming into?
Yeah. We figured, there was the hang time versus the distance didn't really match up. So we felt like, we could get the ball with at least 10 to 15 yards separation. And Brody just turned the wheels on that one, but yeah, we thought we could. We also went into the game feeling like we could block some kicks, whether it be punts or extra points or field goals, and we didn't get that done, but we certainly attempted to do that.
Coach, now you're returning into SEC play and hopefully postseason game as well. What did this game do to help you prepare for that stretch drive?
Well, I think honestly, we needed to feel good again. And, we went through a rough stretch. It's not an excuse. We went through a rough stretch. That's the truth. And coming back here today to be up 45-0 at half, that was a big, big deal for us. I mean, it really was. I mean, it was for our coaching staff to sit in there at halftime and going, we did what we said we were going to do. We did what we needed to do. Now, we got to get healthy next week, and then we have to have a great game plan for Mississippi State. But we're excited about trying to make another run. I mean, we're excited about it. Our kids believe we can do that, and this game helped us towards that.
How big was it to come out today against an underdog like that? Just take a fight to them early, because a lot of times you'll see teams hang around for a quarter and a half, two quarters into the game. How big was your team to come out early?
I'm not for sure as a coach that you're more nervous playing today than you are playing A&M. Now, I know that sounds silly, but your team's going to be as ready as they possibly can because of the name of the opponent. So I was nervous. I was nervous about getting we tried to work them in pregame. We tried to, we kept talking all week. If we'll prepare, then something like this can happen. And they did. They really had a good week of practice. We weren't always crisp, but the effort was good this week in practice. But I think it was a big, big deal for us. I do. Because you've seen a lot of teams just like today that went into half 17-10. We did it. We did it we did it when we played Rice. We were behind. And we didn't do that today. And there's really good feeling of a little bit of maturity on our football team.
Okay. Coach, throw last year out because of COVID, but you're one win away from being bowl eligible. What does it say about this team, the players, and the staff that you've assembled to be that way?
Well, I don't know. I don't think we've got a kid on our team that was here that's ever played in a bowl game. Now, I think Grant and them may have went, I don't know if that's an accurate statement. I'm telling you, that's what I think. So it would be a big deal for the University of Arkansas and our fans, I believe, for us to get another win or two or three or four, whatever that is, and go to a bowl game. But this got us one away from it. I think we'll be very, very hungry to do that. Some teams bowl games are, hey, I'm going to go this bowl or that bowl. And, oh man, why did we go to this bowl? Our team, we want to go to postseason play. We want to earn it. And so I think we're one away, and I think we'll be ready to play.
How much stock you put in being outmanned in the second half and kind of shut out kind of the.
Well, you put thought in because you have players that our goal at halftime was to play all twos and threes and win the second half. And we didn't do it. We couldn't move the football with our twos. And that was our twos. We had St. John was out and a few guys out, but those are guys that are capable of playing winning football. And we put two fumbles on the ground and this wasn't very good showing, for the offense. Now the defense, I think they did really well. I don't know how much you put in there, except here's what I will say. When the kid sees himself on tape, all this, well, I'm as good as somebody and I'm as good and I should be doing this. Okay, you got to have a football. Let's see what it looks like. And if it looks like what you've been saying, well, then we'll give you a few extra reps. If it looked like what we've been saying, then we got to get better. And our team understands that too, and they will. Who? Oh, he was just sick. I thought that he could play, and we gave him an IV, tried to make, and at halftime, he wasn't dressed out, and we almost dressed him out. I don't know if that's legal or not. I think it is. But I wanted him to play, and he got some IV, but he just couldn't.
What do you see on the punt return? Touchdown for punt return. First, since Joe Adams had 24 tackles.
Oh, sure, I knew that.
And then also, it looks like they rumor about anybody getting hurt. Nice wins. How good is that? And how does that carry that?
From what I understand, I think Zymos may have got hurt a little bit, and Big Ridge has got a knee, so we took him out a little earlier than normal. Other than that, I think we came out feeling good about our football team, and that is huge. And that's why when we were up 45-0, I didn't want to play anybody of our starters anymore because I want to make sure we were healthy going into this run.
What do you see on the punt return? That's 10 years. That's a long time.
Well, I mean, we did a nice job blocking. The guys turned around and got out in front of him. And Brody made a guy, I believe he made one miss and then got down the sideline and outrun everybody. It was really well executed. The punter outkicked the coverage, and we had a lot of space in there. And once he kicked it to our sideline, the kids got in front of him, did a really good job of blocking for him. And let me say this, the whole team was as excited as I've seen them in a long time when Brody scored. It was really neat.
Sam, historic is the word that keeps getting used in this game. Just for you personally to be able to lead this team after 75 years is a long time not playing in state school. What did that mean to you personally?
Well, I think it's probably more to do with Hunter Yurachek than me. He's the one that came to us and said that's you want to do this, and so I think he probably needs the credit for that. And I think credit is the right word. To get back and play in state schools and keep the money in state and things of that nature. But I have a lot of respect for Coach Gamble and Pine Bluff, so we couldn't really have picked a better team to come in here and play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.